love it when we do this. We're having a little social chit chat. There we go. That's what we need to talk about. And we're going, press record. So here we go.
I
What do
know.
we need to talk about before we say something wise? We press record. Anyway,
That
to if you're watching this, this wasn't a plan once our
this
hair
was a
and our lipstick
social.
isn't in order. Huh?
Yeah.
So tell me
This was
what.
a social, and we're inviting you into our social moment.
Yes, into a very private social moment. What?
Talking about torturing horses, doing shoulder in, when really we should be starting, the royal
Big, big week, yeah.
should be starting. I mean, can you lead your horse in a straight line? Because so many people can't, and they jump immediately to haunches in, shoulder in, fucking. Well, shouldn't say that. I might edit that out. Might not. This is a social. All these
Oh, yeah.
fancy steps and stuff, which is great and good for their bodies, right? But they can't lead their
Absolutely.
horse.
So what would you, let's talk about what does it take? What would you consider a proper lead? How can we lead? What do we need to have in place to lead our horses properly?
Well, you mean physically, or what does it physically look
And
like?
like what would if you saw somebody leading their horse, what would
Mm.
cause you to say, "Oh, look how beautiful. They're really leading their horse nicely."
If
What would
they
you
were
see?
in rhythmically in step, and I don't mean matching steps, I just mean in a good mutual rhythm,
Matching. Yeah.
matching, but not necessarily, I must match the step. A nice smile in the
Yeah.
line, stood at the neck, shoulder area for me, and then just walking in a straight friggin' line. It just
Yeah.
gentle
Rachel,
with a.
sorry. Yeah. No, you're just going out of frame to that way. You need to sit more
Oh,
this
right,
way.
okay.
You're disappearing. When you move your head, you're disappearing like that. So
There. Is that
more
better?
to your right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now I can see all of you. Yeah, so a nice gentle so rhythmically matching, a smile in the robe by
A smile
the
on your
like that the
face.
shoulder line. Yeah.
Not, yeah. That's what I would love to
Yeah.
see. If that would be mine.
And yeah, because and what do we usually see? We see horses that we reach the end of the rope before the horse is walked on, so the horse is being pulled along. So of course the horse falls on his forehand, and then we spend the rest of our day trying to put their weights back, but we're already putting them on their forehand by the way we lead them. By being in front of them, we're putting them on the forehand before we even get on them. Horses that and what I say, a horse that will stop when you stop and not walk in front of you, a horse that circles you. And that is about, that you need to be connected. You need to be connected somehow, that they're reading you as much as you're reading them. I always talk about what happened was you stopped when horses stop next to you, but then their back end keeps moving. I say, your horse stopped next to you because you either held onto the nose, you made the rope, you may put pressure on the nose, but his mind didn't stop, so his back end kept moving, and it's
Yeah.
like a car that goes around you. So yes, so what you talk so beautifully, and I have found myself using in my teaching, that mind-body connection. I think it's
Mm-mm.
something I always talked about, but it's lovely to have words for it. Like your horse's mind and their body need to be in the same place. I talk about
Absolutely.
soft thoughts to find a soft body, but you can also find a not so soft mind with a not so soft body, and then work with that. They just whatever their
Mm-mm.
state is, they have to be in the same place. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, and if we go around leading horses that aren't doing all those nice things you just mentioned, and then we start trying to walk them down between ourselves and a fence line, make sure that they're not claustrophobic, because then they tense up, because horses are
Mhm. Yeah.
claustrophobic by nature, aren't they?
Yes.
And then we're trying to get them to walk what did the horse might feel is crooked,
Yeah.
and then we're crooked
Sideways.
in our bodies. So yeah, and I'm not, listen, as you said to begin with, shoulder in is kind of a holy grail of making horses stronger. I get that, but we need to be able to lead our horses in
That
a
can't
straight
be.
line
It
first.
cannot be the first thing you do. That's like saying, running before you can walk.
Yeah,
Just
and the thing is, Rachel, I don't think people intend to do it first. They just were
No.
not aware of how flawed our leading is.
But I
If
also
your horse
think we
isn't
need,
walking next and it happens again, yes.
no, but I also
You
think
also
we
think
need
we need,
to be careful about, yes, it's a good thing. I'm not saying shoulder in is not a good thing. It's a good thing, like you say. It's good biomechanical. It's good whatever. But
yeah,
it's all this sort of tagline. If you don't do it, you're not good enough. You should be doing this, and that's oversold when
okay.
they need the basics in place first. No,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just knowing what sometimes we don't realize that we don't have the basics in place. It's knowing what the basics are.
I know, because we're doing
I
them
can
every
get,
day.
yeah, I get my horse from A to B, hence I can lead it.
Exactly.
We only
Like
worry
this.
we only worry if we suddenly realize my horse circles around me while I'm leading it, a very
Mhm.
obvious problem. My horse takes me off to eat grass, a very obvious problem. My horse lags behind and I can't implant, a very obvious problem. But my horse just toodles along behind me and there's no active connection. That's not an obvious problem, but that needs to be there before we start asking our horses to do
Absolutely.
fancy footwork. Yeah.
And it's really important for me as well that there is sufficient length in the lead rope
Mm,
that you know that they are making a choice to do that walk with you. So you're not got it so short that you're trying to control them, which is ridiculous. You're not controlling anything. All you're doing is transmitting tension. So they
absolutely.
become tense because they're thinking, why are you holding on to me so tight? What's going to happen next? So having
Absolutely. It's like a
enough
press, yeah. Yeah.
enough smile so that there is a joy. It's like, holding hands with a lover. You're not going to hold your lover's hand here. You're going to hold their hand and walk nicely with them, surely.
It's like the holder that's like, and the hands going like this, and they say, help.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get me out of here.
anyway, that was a nice little tidbit.
Yeah.
Something that came up, and that's how our
Yeah.
conversations work. Sorry about the hair sticking up and lack of lipstick and all of those things, but it's important. So, in a nutshell, let's make sure that our horse is walking with us in mind and body, nice and soft, next to us, before we start introducing more complicated steps.
Exactly.
And having given you that nutshell, unless there's something you would like to add, Rachel, anything you would like to cram into my nutshell?
No, your nutshell is perfect. So, what I would just say is please join us. Please join us on this journey, and you can subscribe below and you'll get notified.
See you at the next one.
Yeah, bye.
Ta-da for now. Bye.